Part two. All right. Uber comes, make it back to his house, all fine and dandy. To skip the details, okay? To skip the details, if you know, you already know. Skipping the details, all right. So practically, I move in after that, you guys. I move in probably the next day after that interview. I basically moved in. I started to be a little bit more open about my living situation and let him know, like, I basically don't really have anywhere stable to stay. And he's like, well, you can stay here for a while under these circumstances. He discussed the circumstances. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, whatever. I can do that, whatever, no big deal. So, until it was a big deal. Now, mind you, this was just me moving in. This wasn't like us deciding to be in a full blown relationship together, anything like that. This was just like a roomie for benefit type of thing, to be straightforward. That's all it was. And so I didn't really have a room to be trying to catch feelings or anything like that. And it was never my intention at the beginning, of course, no feelings involved. It was just, me being there. But in the midst of, us hooking up and having intercourse and shit like that, eventually along the way I started to catch feelings, but I try to control my feelings, if that makes sense. I try to hold them in and retain them because I'm aware that this man has a pretty busy lifestyle. He made it clear that he dates multiple women, and he even had a date coming up in a few days, and he was gonna go to his date. And I felt some type of way about that, but I'm like, you don't have the right to feel any type of way about this man going on a date because you are not his woman. You are not his woman. You are his temporary roommate. He is giving you housing. Okay? So I try to restrain my feelings as much as I possibly can and try to just have understanding of the situation and just let it be what it is. Goes on this date. Mind you, yeah, it bothered me. It bothered me because it's like, damn, what do you mean you're going on a date? It's just respecting boundaries, I guess. In between this time of when I first moved in and like the 2 week mark of when I was there, we did have a few little back and forths, a few moments like where I wasn't necessarily giving up the goodies in the right way as it was expected of me. Okay. And we had a little few backs and forths, like, I just leave. I just leave. Never left, obviously. Never left until 6 months later. Um, but we had a few times like that where it's like, okay, well, if you can't fulfill your end of the bargain, you can get the fuck out. In better words, of course, you can leave, just leave. Um, I always volunteer myself to leave. It's like, he's like, well, where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go? What are you doing? What are you doing? Make it make sense. Because mind you, this guy is like kind of a rocket scientist, kind of a genius in his own right. I never knocked that. Very smart individual, which I was attracted to, and I like that. So he's very logical in his thought process for the most part. Eventually, we go a few weeks and we get on the same accord. I'm not getting put out every 3 days. I'm not packing my bag up every 3 days at this point, and we're on the same accord. Everybody's keeping up their end of the bargain. I'm doing pretty well at restraining my emotions, but I will tell you during this process of me trying to be stoic and be all strong and not have feelings for this guy that I'm having sex with, but that's not my man. That's just my roommate and also has other girlfriends on the side and multiple women that he's messing with. And I'm just here, but I can't have feelings because it's not my man. Me trying to control all of that. In that process, I caught myself drinking a lot, smoking a lot, trying to suppress my feelings a lot. And for me, that affected a little bit of my mental health, a little bit. Because I know I was just trying to suppress my true feelings and my true thoughts and my just trying to suppress it, trying not to let it have control over the situation. Because at this point, I was starting to have a little bit more feelings because I see, he was serious. Like, oh, okay, he's going on dates. He is going on dates. And I started to feel some type of way like, okay, well, And so I have this guy, I live with him, he's going on dates, he's doing his thing. He is the earner, he is the one making the money, the one paying the bills here. So I don't have any rights here. But eventually I kind of get like tired of that because it's like I didn't feel like I deserved that kind of treatment, regardless of me needing a place to stay. I didn't feel like I deserved to just get fucked on and then it be multiple women in the picture, and then eventually start introducing other women into our intimate time. And for me, that was a big no, no, because I'm my thing. It's never been. So once that was introduced, I really, really tried to become a fly on the wall and be non-existent in those moments, but it did not work for the most part. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. Or once it did and once it didn't. Because they both wanted my involvement, my interaction in the situation. But I'm like, me, I'm keeping it all the way gangsta. I'm not with that. I'm not. I'm not for her and him and her all together. Like, this is not a menage a trois. Not for that. Okay, I made that clear. But when you're in someone's house, their rules, their regulations, whatever they say goes. So mental health deteriorating. I'm drinking a lot during this chapter of my life. I'm smoking a lot, suppressing my feelings a lot, suppressing everything a lot because at the end of the day, I didn't have anywhere to go. I'm here with this 40-year-old man who is very successful in his own right, taken care of financially, no worries. Before the other women came in, it was good. It was peachy. That's why it threw me off so much because it was like we would do our thing, we would have our intercourse, and then next morning I would wake up and roll over, and he'd be like, "So you want to go get your hair done? You need somebody to go get your nails done? Let's go get you a new wardrobe. I know you don't have no clothes with you. Let's go get you put together nice so I can make you. I need you to feel good in my home space so that I feel good. Your positive energy is gonna help me balance my positive energy while you're in my household, and I couldn't do anything but respect that, because I needed that at the time. So it was like that was the peachy and the creamy part. Like that was the goodness, like moving into a stranger house and him literally taking me off the street, for lack of better words, into his home and catering to me, making sure that I am maintained and I have the things that I need to make me feel and operate in my femininity, and for me at the time that was having my hair done, having my nails done, having money in my pocket, having my nice clothes, having a uniform, things like that. And he catered to those needs for me and whenever I needed it. My only issue was when other women started to be introduced and his lifestyle started to be more showcased to me, and I started to realize like I didn't know what I had really got myself involved in, but I know I didn't like it. And I knew I didn't like it because I realized I started like going out for drinks more after work. I started just drinking more. I started just doing more things to suppress my feelings. Now, by like his third date with some woman, I was over it at that point. I'm like, you know what? I can't even take it. I can't take it. At this point, like I start kind of acting out in a way. Like I start coming back in the house sometimes like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And for him, like that really wasn't acceptable. And I understand that, but and then again I didn't. I'm like, what does it matter? Like I was just at the edge, you guys. I was just at the edge. My mental health was deteriorating. I was drinking a lot and I was just like, fuck it. I mean, certain things were out of my control. Some of those times I did come home like really, really late, but it was just like I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have anywhere else to go. It just was what it was. Part three. So